If you haven't kept up to the news over the last week, layoffs have hit games media yet again. Vox Media has basically killed off Polygon by laying off most of its team and shipping its lifeless husk to Valnet to be turned into more SEO slop. Fandom also essentially put an end to Giant Bomb after trying to enforce a brand-friendly policy, stopped their live streams after the team protested it, and then multiple people were either let go or left.
Well, golly gee, I'm just a real rascal, and I don't know if I can really adhere to all this brand safety nonsense I've been hearing so much about.
Oh, no! Stand back!
Wow!
I'm going to set the tone right away. None of that, Mike Minotti.
That was too sarcastic, right?
The traditional games media landscape has been in dire straits for a long time now, and it's not for a lack of people who want games coverage, or people willing to produce it. No. It's because the corporate owners of these websites and brands want endless growth and have no strategies to achieve that beyond pumping out endless amounts of content. I often refer to the term SEO in Unpacked, which stands for Search Engine Optimization. Any website that is corporate owned is built around SEO, which is a model of making content specifically designed to cater to search engines like Google. This is why on so many websites you see a lot of the same news stories, the same guides, and the same topics being covered. SEO forms the backbone of these outlets' existence. When you are tasked with building an outlet that needs millions of readers per month to bring in enough revenue to be profitable, this is the only way to achieve that type of scale. And the only way that model actually works is by paying people horribly cheap rates to get to the level of output needed to drive that kind of traffic. We're talking about thousands of posts per week across these companies that own dozens of different websites, posts that you probably never even see. I've worked at a company where they paid people $2 an article on the smaller sites. At another company, they outsource their SEO work to people in low-income countries so they can pay them less for more. Just take a look at the front page of our previous stomping grounds if you need proof of that. It's a stupid, outdated, and broken model that hitches your entire business to the whims of Google and its algorithms that change by the week. There is never a more stressful time to be running one of these outlets than when you have a great week of traffic, because you never know if it's going to be there the following week. An algorithm can change, an executive can decide to place another handful of ads on the website, something in the code might break, and then your traffic disappears overnight with no explanation why, and suddenly, the execs are breathing down your neck, berating you, and telling you to let people go or asking them to do more than they're able to without any benefit for doing so. It's an endless cycle that you've seen play out with your favorite outlets in the games media space over and over and over again. The executives who force the broken strategies, endless ads that drive readers away, abusive pay rates, endless amounts of stress and burnout, and they never take the fall. It's always the people who readers and viewers actually go to those brands for. And that's the crux of it, really. The people who own these brands don't understand what an audience is, and have gotten their way because they've made people believe a brand is only successful when millions of people are visiting it every day. They believe when a video or article goes viral, it's easily repeatable. They believe that people clicking on your video or website from Google are your audience. They are not. These are viewers and readers who are there for that singular piece of content, or to get an answer to a question they had, or because of a viral clip on social media. Maybe they'll be back if they come across your link again, and maybe they won't. They spend a few seconds of their time with you, and then they're gone. And thus, the SEO model comes into play by spewing out tons of content in the hopes that you are the first result they click on out of convenience, not out of loyalty to a brand or the people working there. These corporate owners have stripped all of their brands of any personality and any reason to connect. You come to Second Wind because you know the people working here. Our interests, our personalities, our flaws, the quality of our work, the community you interact with in our Discord and comments. You go to other independent outlets for the same reasons, whether it's MinMax, Kinda Funny, Aftermath, Video Games Chronicle, or any number of other creators. We all have our audiences that we built up through years of work that's unique, work that has heart behind it, and work that takes time, effort, and money to make. These are all things that are antithetical to companies like Valnet, Fandom, Gamers, or any of the other media conglomerates that buy up brands, promise them stability, and then rip it all away over time when they don't meet whatever unachievable goals they set. The sad part is that many of these sites like Giant Bomb, Polygon, and Game Informer, which is thankfully back and mostly independent now, did have personality to them. Communities that cared about them and were willing to support them if asked. But the people running these outlets into the ground don't understand anything beyond the numbers they see on the analytics screen. No different than many of the major publishers driving studios into the ground because they can't achieve constant and endless growth. There is no future for this model in games media. Making creative things takes time. Doing investigative reporting takes building trust. Personalities take time to develop. Audiences take time to build. You don't need an audience of millions to watch or read your work to be successful. That idea has been fed to you by executives' pursuit of these endless growth models that only benefit the people who sit in meetings all day, aren't the reason people visit these brands, and don't take accountability for their leadership when things aren't working out. And they're not willing to change the business model to make it work. Trust me, I know. I tried, and it was working at The Escapist, but not fast enough apparently. There's a reason we had the confidence that we did to start Second Wind, because we understood the numbers, the business model we created, and the audience that we had. We didn't know if it was going to work as well as it did, obviously, but we trusted in ourselves to give it a shot and take our future into our own hands. Watching the brands and teams you care about be stripped away by people who don't care about them sucks. Unfortunately, it's the only road the old media model leads down. But, as you well know from our time here at Second Wind, there's a silver lining to it. That strong teams can stick together, make something new, and take ownership of it away from the money hats that don't care who they hurt as long as the line goes up. You're seeing that happen in real time with so many new independent outlets starting up, supported by the very audiences that made them relevant in the first place. Outlets that can make the type of games coverage you enjoy and support without having to burn themselves out in the process, and worry if they're going to have a job every quarter that there's a little less traffic. We don't have to wait for the system to change. We're the ones who make sure the people at the top get to keep their jobs.